I put that fight in other place right now. I think Crawford is a little better than Mayweather, but Canelo have more experience right now. No, and I think
It's really that.
Floyd Mayweather talked badly about Canelo Alvarez after he said Terence Crawford is a better boxer than him. Mayweather was told what Canelo said when he was asked to predict the fight between Canelo and Crawford. The boxing star asked, "Did he really say that? That person is a jerk. I don't rate that jerk. He gave me one of the easier bouts of my career."
Question for Canelo.
The last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And you
I
know that.
fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2002.
Mention me one. You
Since
mention me
2002.
one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
It's gonna
you.
be me.
I don't
And
care
you
about
will-
nobody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stuff a mud hole in your, is you gonna be a nobody? You gonna be just.
Soon, boxing fans agreed with Mayweather in the comments. But Mayweather was sure that Terence Crawford would win when he was asked to guess who would win. Crawford will beat Canelo because he is what it takes. Don't forget that I bet against him on Bivol, and I'm doing the same thing with Crawford. I am obviously making money.
How you be sizing up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, boss, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight.
Yeah.
I never
Canelo never takes his losses proudly, and I hope Crawford gives the fool another loss. A fan said, "Canelo thinks he's smart," said someone else. "He is insulting Floyd by beating Crawford. He said he had beaten a better fighter than Floyd." A third person wrote, "Canelo is about to get his head whooped one more time. Watch Floyd go tell Crawford how to mess this guy up." Canelo Alvarez witnessed directly why Floyd Mayweather Jr. is regarded as an all-time great and the best fighter of his generation when they faced off in 2013.
People look at this fight and compare it to Mayweather's fight. Do you think Mayweather is like Canelo? Or Mayweather is like Crawford? Or Mayweather saying game plan?
I don't know. I don't really know.
Alvarez was 23 at the time. Mayweather was 36. Mayweather easily overpowered him and won a decision over the inexperienced Mexican boxer. Fast forward a dozen years, and super middleweight King Alvarez set to fight Terence Crawford on September 13th, a four-division champion who has stolen the torch from Mayweather and established himself as a recognized pound-for-pound great. I believe Crawford is a touch better than Mayweather. Alvarez pulled fight hype, but Canelo is more experienced right now. I believe it's a completely different fight. I do not want to compare this sport to others. This fight is one of the best in boxing history, period.
I think it's totally other fight. I don't want to compare this fight with other fights. I think this fight is one of the best fights in the boxing history, and that's it.
Despite Crawford's smaller stature moving up to divisions, bookmakers expect a close duel between likely first-ballot Hall of Famers. DraftKings has Alvarez as a betting favorite and Crawford as a betting outsider. "I'm here because of my talents, and discipline," Alvarez stated. "I don't care what others say about my boxing IQ. If you look at my resume, you will see that I have done everything and fought everyone. I finished everything in boxing, so my memory is already there." In a recent interview, Floyd Mayweather recalled his famous fight against Canelo Alvarez in the super welterweight category.
About itself, every fighter that's gave the sport of boxing their whole life and sacrificed a lot inside that square circle, they should feel that way. So if he feel that way, more power to him. I had one fight, and the fight wasn't actually at a catch weight. It was at a catch weight, but
I had one bout, which was at a catch weight, but it was not my plan. Anyone can view this information online. It was a story, so at one point, I guess Canelo assumed I was afraid of him. So he said, Floyd does not want to fight me. I'm willing to meet him at 152 or 152.5 pounds, and I called his bluff. If you want to do it, let's do it at 152 or 152, but after Canelo made the weight, it wasn't like there was a condition saying he couldn't gain weight. He weighed 152 or 152.5. I believe he came in at 168 or close to 170, while I came in at 151 or 150.
And the fight wasn't actually at a catch weight. It was at a catch weight, but it wasn't my idea. So at one particular time, you guys can, anybody, you can go online and pull this up. It was an article. So with Canelo said, I believe Canelo at one particular time thought I was scared of him, that I was afraid. So
Terence Crawford may have thought this was good enough for him as well, given how much he had to study about the new weight class he'll be moving to in under a month. Despite the fact that boxing fans have made strong parallels between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence Crawford, but declined to strip the 50-0 boxing champion of his legitimate title. Terence Crawford admires Floyd Mayweather, and when asked about their similarities, he had a few further words. He's the king. Crawford praised and recognized Floyd's greatness. He went on, "We have a lot in similar in some ways, but we're a little different because I take more chances." Earlier in his work, he took several chances. It all depends on the Floyd Mayweather you're talking about. I mean, you're either talking about money or Pretty Boy, who was the seeking killer. Then he developed hand injuries, which made it difficult for him to keep the same level of power, and he began to move up and fight bigger.
I take more chances.
Excuse me, Crawford.
Right now. But earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances as well. So, it just depends on which Floyd Mayweather you talk about. If you talk about money or do you talk about Pretty Boy? Because Pretty Boy was the seek and destroy fighter.
You're more like Pretty Boy.
Once again, retired.
Floyd, what'd you think of Canelo's performance against Billy Joe Saunders?
I didn't even see it. What do you fight on the app? You said you fight on the app now, right?
Yeah.
Well, the real fighters fight on Showtime.
The more his legacy grows, the more yours grows. Would you agree with that?
In September 2013, Mayweather met Canelo, a fight for the World Boxing Council and World Boxing Association light middleweight titles. It was the 45th fight of the American's illustrious career, and he was up against the young Mexican, who was facing his most difficult challenge yet. It was viewed as a difficult test for Mayweather going in, but it turned out to be a one-sided affair, with the American winning on points, even though the scorecards had it much closer than most boxing fans thought.
It's really that.
The more his legacy grows, the more yours grows. Would you agree with that?
Oh, no, Canelo?
Right.
Oh, that's the easy one.
We're gonna try and get.
People, a lot of times guys be like, well, I'm bigger. I got a longer reach. I'm a better fighter. Do that. I got a strategy. Yeah,
Money dominated the fight from start to finish, using his skills and ability to outperform Canelo over 12 rounds and win by majority decision. Despite being the clear winner at the end of the fight, Judge C.J. Ross scored it 114 to 114, which surprised those in attendance, including Mayweather. In response to the fight build-up, the 47-year-old did not mince words while discussing Canelo's boxing skills, originally summarizing the match in 3 words: he was nothing. Mayweather went on to share his thoughts on the Mexican's abilities. "You can take someone like Canelo. I will say the truth about Canelo. The idiot was simple to deal with. You are all praising this guy. He was nothing, I was approaching 40, and I had no problem cooking this dude. Mayweather quit a few years later, but Canelo remains one of boxing's most recognizable figures, having won world titles at middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight, as well as becoming undisputed in the 168-pound weight class. After losing to Mayweather for the first time, Canelo went on to win 15 straight fights, including world titles at middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight. He now looks to be prepared to compete in another major boxing match, with a fight against fellow pound-for-pound great Crawford scheduled for later this year. Some analysts think the weight differential may be too much for Crawford, who will be moving up from 154 pounds to 168 pounds for the bout after just competing once in the super welterweight division. Because Canelo is naturally much bigger than Crawford, many think he will win by knockout, like he did when he faced a much smaller opponent, Amir Khan, who had also gone up to divisions for the fight. With that in mind, Mayweather said when asked if he was worried about Canelo's power going into the battle. "Not at all," he said. Inside the ring, he had felt this before. "After more than 20 years in the sport, I've never felt anything like it."
Canelo did what he had to do to get the victory.
What do you want next? It seems like that's going to be the fight tonight. Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, the biggest fight in boxing.
Well, Canelo's the face of boxing. He's the best fighter for Terence Crawford out there. He's the biggest fight for Terence Crawford out there. So that's why Terence Crawford want to take the opportunity to share a ring with another great.
How do you beat him?
Mayweather's words may boost Crawford's confidence, especially given Canelo's failure to stop his previous 5 opponents. The 34-year-old from Guadalajara, Mexico, currently holds the Unified World Boxing Council, World Boxing Association, and World Boxing Organization 168-pound titles and is expected to defend his title against fellow pound-for-pound superstar Terence Bud Crawford later this year in what could be one of the biggest fights in boxing's long history. Canelo's sole other career loss came in 2022 when he was severely defeated by former WBA light heavyweight champion Dimitri Bivol.
About the weight differences, what's your kind of response to that, Terence?
That's why we fight the fight. So September 12th, we all going to see if the weight going to make a difference or not.
Do you want to fight him twice and then retire? Is that kind of the ideal thing for you?
One fight at a time, one fight at a time.
What did you make of, I know you didn't say much on tonight, the effectiveness of William School? He came to decision as opposed to win the fight.
It has been nearly 12 years since Canelo Alvarez's first career loss to the legendary Floyd Mayweather. Junior Canelo was barely 23 years old when he was given the chance to face boxing's P for P maestro. Quite simply, the money and the chance were too excellent to pass up. Almost predictably, given his lack of experience at the highest level, Alvarez fell short in that big match at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas in September 2013, while one judge scored the fight as a draw, the other to gave Mayweather a comfortable win. Since then, Canelo has certainly thought on that night and what could have been. It's evident that he and many other astute observers felt the chance came too soon for the Mexican legend. At 34 years old, Alvarez is now boxing's PPV cash cow, set for even bigger challenges after signing the historic 4-fight deal with Turkey Al-Sheikh and Riyadh season. The first fight under the deal will be a super middleweight title unification against Cuban William Skull on May 3rd in Riyadh.
Obviously, I try to beat him because, if you beat him, you want to be the best in the world at 23.
What do you think was so impressive about him?
His experience, he's so smart. He have everything in a fighter, a complete fighter. He don't have power in the punches, but when you that kind of fighter, you don't need it.
You think that was the toughest fight you faced?
No.
What do you think?
I think it's a tough fight.
However, many view this as merely a warm-up for the big event, an epic blockbuster against welterweight and super welterweight king Terence Bud Crawford. Canelo versus Crawford would see Bud go up to weight classes for the biggest fight of his career, and it is clearly the biggest match boxing could make right now. It's planned for September if Alvarez takes care of business on May 3rd. In an interview with Ring Magazine's Mike Coppinger, the Guadalajara native confessed that he feels the night against Mayweather would have been totally different now. He thinks he is a different Canelo, and a fight with Crawford, who is a style comparable to Floyd Jr., could help him prove it. When Kopinger proposed that notion, Alvarez answered by showing that I am now a more experienced fighter. I've always thought that I needed a few more years before facing Mayweather. But things happen, and I've learned a lot, so I don't blame myself. But, certainly, it is a chance for me to demonstrate my current level of fighting ability.
Well, and then he just stopped doing what he was doing earlier. I don't know. I can't call it.
Do you think Canelo slipped as a fighter?
No, I don't. I just think that, William was doing a good job neutralizing Canelo power punches. He was just moving a lot.
Do you think that's a style you have to employ in points of the fight?
I don't know, because if you watch the styles that beat him, they didn't move a lot. They moved a little bit, but not as much.
I'm not even a fan of that fight. There are too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now, Canelo is, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164?
Crawford, known for his versatility and technical prowess, wants to step up to weight classes to face the undisputed super middleweight champion. A remarkable jump that has split opinion among boxing experts. Former heavyweight world champion Deontay Wilder is one of the big voices chiming in. In a recent interview with S News, Wilder voiced alarm about Crawford's massive weight gain. 147 to 168, that's simply too much, Wilder said. Although you can transition from southpaw to orthodox when you're touching heavier guys, it's a different feeling. It's like if you were a baby. I am not saying you can knock someone out or punish them, but I think it takes longer. The way blows are absorbed changes dramatically as weight rises. Crawford has moved a step closer to narrowing the weight disparity since Wilder's comments, winning the World Boxing Association Super Welterweight belt. Despite this success, he and Canelo Alvarez still have a 14-pound weight discrepancy, which might play a critical part in the fight's outcome. Canelo, known for his unwavering hitting power and stamina, has established himself as a dominant force in the super middleweight category. Despite two career defeats, both by decision, he has regularly displayed exceptional defense and resilience, cementing his place as one of boxing's most formidable adversaries. This clash promises to be a spectacular spectacle, but it also offers a significant test for Crawford.
Canelo ain't gonna come down, maybe 166 max if he accepts. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor, and that's why I'm not even a fan of.
To succeed, the Omaha native needs show exceptional flexibility and resilience against a fighter of Canelo's skill in a higher weight class, while Wilder's reservations regarding the weight disadvantage are justified. The attraction of this fight cannot be denied. This collision of styles and raw power puts two of boxing's finest talents against each other, and fans are looking forward to what may be one of the sport's most exciting spectacles. It's astonishing that Canelo Alvarez already has a fixed opponent for 2025, not for the May date, but for his second fight of the year, planned for September on the weekend of Mexico's Independence celebration in Las Vegas. Teddy Atlas, a legendary boxing trainer turned pundit, has given Fight Hub TV with insight into the potential megafight between the two stars, saying that he would find it difficult to compete against the American southpaw. Few people have the appetite or desire to challenge themselves. Mr. Crawford does. I'll never go up against that guy. Father Time might catch him, but I'm not sure if a weight class would.
Those kind of fights on that stage, at that level, to be ready, really, really ready for Canelo. He was still a few fights short. He still needed more season. Even though he had a lot of fights, he still needed more season. I see Berlanga.
It's a huge job because Canelo is a fantastic fighter, larger and stronger, and he can punch and timing you. But just because you're smaller, Crawford will devise a plan that forces the other man to use his size. Speaking on Fight Hub TV, McIntyre praised the undefeated Crawford, who is likely to face Canelo in May or September. Crawford holds all of the tools necessary to earn a third undisputed welterweight championship. Any serious boxing fan knows Crawford can beat Canelo. Do you look pulled Fight Hub that you have to know boxing to say that? And that's all for now. Subscribe to our YouTube page to stay up to date on the latest boxing news, moments, events, and actions. Don't forget to enable alerts so you can be notified when we post high-quality stuff like this. Until next time, peace.